Hey everyone, welcome back. One of the things I find most fascinating these days is artificial intelligence.
Absolutely. It's really something, isn't it?
I mean, we've all heard about AI language models,
Yeah.
but what's the reality of it all?
Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today.
And we're focusing on one particular AI that's generating quite a buzz right now. Claude by Anthropic. It's going
Mm.
head to head with some seriously big players, and we're going to unpack why.
Anthropic has actually created a whole family of these Claude
Oh,
models.
really?
Yeah, there's Claude 3.5, Haiku, kind of the lightweight version for quicker tasks, and there's Claude 3.5 Sonnet, which
Okay.
is more of the mid-range jack-of-all-trades model,
Right.
and then their flagship model is Claude 3 Opus.
So a Claude for every
Well,
occasion.
you got it.
I like it. But one thing that's caught my attention, and I'm sure many of our listeners, is this whole context window thing.
Yeah, it's a pretty central concept when you're talking about AI language models.
But honestly, it sounds kind of intimidating, like something out of a science fiction movie.
I get it, but it's actually a pretty simple idea once you break it down.
Okay, I'm all ears. Demystify it for me.
Imagine you're engrossed in a good mystery novel, trying to piece together all the clues and red herrings.
Love a good whodunit.
Well, the context window is like your brain's capacity to keep track of all those details, the characters, the timeline, those tiny details that might be important later on.
Right. So a bigger context window basically means a sharper mind for solving the mystery.
Precisely. And when we talk about AI like Claude, this context window is what sets it apart. It can handle an incredible amount of information all at once. We're talking 200,000 tokens.
Whoa, 200,000. Now, I hate to interrupt, but you're going to have to break down what tokens actually means in this context.
Of course, think of tokens as the individual building blocks of language words, punctuation marks, even spaces. So a 200,000 token context window means Claude can process and understand the equivalent of roughly 150,000 words simultaneously.
That's like feeding it an entire novel and it can remember every single detail.
That's exactly it.
Wow. So how does that stack up against other big players in the AI field, like GPT-4, for example?
GPT-4 is undeniably powerful, but even its turbo version maxes out at 128,000 tokens.
Okay, so already significantly smaller.
And its standard version only handles 8,000, and another popular one, GPT 3.5 Turbo, only goes up to 4,000 tokens.
So Claude is in a whole other league when it comes to processing information.
It's safe to say it has a much larger capacity.
That's incredible. But what does this massive context window actually mean for someone like me, or anyone really, using AI in their daily lives? So we're talking about this huge capacity for processing information.
Yeah.
But how does that actually play out in the real world? It's like having a superpower but not knowing how to use it, right?
Absolutely. It's the application of this technology that makes it truly remarkable. Let's say you're tackling a research project.
Okay, I'm picturing a mountain of articles and reports.
You got it. Now, instead of spending countless hours poring over every single word, imagine uploading all of that to Claude.
Okay, and what happens next? Does it just like magically summarize everything?
In a way, yes. Claude can analyze all that information simultaneously. It can pull out the key themes, connect the dots between different sources, and even point out any contradictions or gaps in the research.
It's like having a superpowered research assistant who never needs a coffee break.
Exactly. And think about the applications beyond research. Imagine you're a lawyer prepping for a trial.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You could feed Claude all the legal precedents, court transcripts, expert testimonies. It could help you build a rock-solid case by highlighting crucial information that might have been missed otherwise.
That's incredible. But let's shift gears a bit because I'm really curious about how this massive context window affects content creation.
Ah, yes. This is where it gets really exciting. Because Claude can remember and process so much, it can actually help create high-quality content on a whole new level.
Now you're speaking my language. Content creation is my jam, but honestly, it can be a struggle sometimes. How does Claude make a difference?
Okay, let's say you're working on a novel.
I like where this is going.
You can give Claude everything. You've got character sketches, plot outlines, even snippets of dialogue. And it can help weave it all into a captivating story.
So it's not just about stringing random sentences together. It's actually understanding things like plot and character development.
Absolutely. It's like having a co-writer who gets your vision and helps bring it to life in a way that feels authentic.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I'm guessing this applies to more than just novels, right?
You bet. Think blog posts, marketing copy, even scripts for videos or podcasts. Claude can ensure your content is consistent, clear, and engaging.
This is blowing my mind. It's like having a secret weapon for content creators. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, from supercharging research to practically co-writing a novel. It all sounds amazing, but are there any limitations to what Claude can do, even with its impressive context window?
Well, no technology is limitless, right? One thing Claude can't do, for example, is generate images or videos.
Ah, so no AI-generated art exhibits from Claude anytime soon.
Not quite. It can analyze visual content like diagrams, but it can't actually create them like some other AI models.
Okay, so that's one thing to keep in mind. What else?
Another important consideration is that Claude's knowledge is based on the massive dataset it was trained on, but it doesn't have access to the live internet.
So no browsing the web for the latest news or trends.
Exactly. Think of it like having access to an incredible library, but it might not have today's newspaper.
That makes sense. It highlights the importance of understanding the scope of any AI tool. It's not a magic crystal ball.
Precisely. And while incredibly advanced, Claude is still a machine. It can make mistakes, misinterpret information, even reflect biases that were present in its training data.
That's a really important point. It's easy to get swept up in the possibilities, but critical thinking is still key.
Absolutely. Always double-check the information and don't just take it at face value.
Right. Now, for our listeners who might be new to this whole AI revolution, what would you say are the key takeaways about Claude?
Well, the bottom line is, Claude is pushing the boundaries of what's possible with AI language models. Its ability to handle such a vast context window opens up so many possibilities.
It's like having an incredibly well-read friend who can connect all the dots for you.
Exactly. And as this technology continues evolving, it's going to transform how we work, how we learn, even how we consume entertainment.
It's both exciting and a bit daunting to think about, right?
It certainly raises a lot of questions. How will this impact education, scientific research, the arts? What new possibilities will emerge as AI like Claude continues to develop?
Such great questions to ponder. And honestly, we don't have all the answers. But that's what's so fascinating about this, isn't it? It makes us think, explore, and ask those big what-if questions.
Exactly.
So, to everyone listening, we'll leave you with this. As AI like Claude evolves, what impact do you think it will have on your world? That's something to think about. Until next time, keep exploring and keep diving deep.